Welcome to this life-changing audiobook, Follow Your Brain, Your Heart is an Idiot, written and presented by your very own assets investor. First, let me thank you for tuning in. Whether you're driving, relaxing, or simply taking some time for self-improvement, I promise this audiobook will transform the way you approach life. In the next 40 to 45 minutes, we'll uncover why your brain is the true powerhouse for decision-making and why letting your heart take the lead often leads to regrets, poor choices, and unnecessary struggles. By the end of this journey, you'll be equipped with the tools to make smarter, more logical decisions that will pave the way to a happier, more successful life. So let's dive in and take control of your life, one rational decision at a time. Chapter 1. The Science Behind Decision-Making. Let's take a deeper dive into how your brain and heart work when it comes to making decisions. Understanding this distinction is the first step to mastering your choices and living a more productive life. How the brain works. Your brain is a highly evolved organ that processes thousands of bits of information every second. Its logical part, the prefrontal cortex, analyzes data, evaluates risks, and predicts outcomes. It's the control center for rational thinking. When faced with a decision, your brain weighs the pros and cons, considers past experiences, and projects the long-term consequences of your actions. For example, let's say you're offered a job in a new city. Your brain will calculate, how will this move affect my career growth? Is the salary increase worth the cost of living? What opportunities might this bring for my future? This is your brain doing what it does best. Logical reasoning. It sets aside temporary emotions and focuses on the bigger picture. How the heart works. Now, let's shift gears and talk about your heart. Of course, we're not talking about the physical heart that pumps blood, but the metaphorical heart tied to your emotions. Your heart reacts instinctively to situations. It's driven by feelings like love, fear, excitement, or anger. Imagine being offered that same job. Your heart might say, "This feels scary. What if I fail? I'll miss my friends and family. This doesn't feel like the right time." Notice how the heart focuses on the immediate emotional impact rather than the long-term benefits. That's why people often get stuck in their comfort zones. They're listening to their heart's fears instead of their brain's logic. When they conflict arises when your brain and heart disagree. Your heart might urge you to quit your job impulsively because you had a bad day, but your brain reminds you of bills, responsibilities, and the bigger career plan. Why the brain is better? Does this mean emotions are bad? Not at all. Emotions have their place in life. They add color, passion, and meaning. But when it comes to decisions, your brain is the compass that keeps you on track. It sees beyond the temporary ups and downs of life, guiding you toward your goals with clarity and focus. Practical tip. The next time you're faced with a tough decision, pause. Ask yourself, am I thinking this through logically, or am I reacting emotionally? Write down the pros and cons and give your brain the time it needs to process the situation. Logic will always lead you to better outcomes. Chapter 2. Love is blind and foolish. Love. The greatest battlefield of the heart versus the brain. Relationships bring joy, connection, and meaning to life, but they can also bring heartbreak, conflict, and regret when guided solely by emotions. The emotional side of love. When you're in love, your brain releases chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin, making you feel euphoric and attached. It's why people often describe falling in love as losing control or being swept off their feet. But this emotional high can cloud your judgment. You might ignore red flags, justify bad behavior, or rush into commitments without thinking about the long-term implications. Your heart whispers, "It's okay, they'll change," while your brain screams, "This isn't healthy," when emotions lead to poor choices. Consider these common scenarios. 1. Ignoring red flags. Your partner is unreliable or disrespectful, but you convince yourself that love will fix everything. 2. Compromising. Too much, you sacrifice your career, friendships, or hobbies to keep the relationship alive. 3. Rushing into marriage or big decisions. Driven by the excitement of love, you commit before truly understanding if you're compatible. Rational relationships. Does this mean you should never follow your heart? Absolutely not. But your heart needs guidance from your brain. A rational relationship isn't devoid of emotions. It's about balancing feelings with logic. Before diving into a relationship, ask yourself, compatibility. Are our values, goals, and lifestyles aligned? Respect. Do they treat me with kindness and consideration? Growth. Does this relationship help me grow as a person? The role of communication, logical thinking, isn't just about analyzing. It's also about communicating effectively. Share your thoughts and concerns openly with your partner. When both of you approach the relationship with a balance of emotions and rationality, it becomes healthier and more fulfilling. Chapter 3. Money matters. Money is another area where your heart often hijacks the wheel. Emotional spending, impulsive investments, and financial guilt can derail your path to financial freedom. Emotional spending. How many times have you bought something just because it made you feel good? Maybe it was a pair of expensive shoes or a fancy dinner at a restaurant. Your heart convinces you, you deserve this. But what happens later? Buyer's remorse sets in, and you realize you didn't really need it. Impulse versus strategy. Impulse buying is a classic example of the heart dominating the brain. Your emotions focus on instant gratification, but your brain knows that financial success requires discipline, planning, and patience. Here's an example. You see a shiny new car that's slightly out of your budget. Your heart says, go for it. You'll look amazing driving this. But your brain warns, what about the loan payments, insurance costs, and depreciation? Practical financial tips. 1. The 24-hour rule. Before making a big purchase, wait 24 hours. Give your brain time to process if you really need it. 2. Budgeting. Create a monthly budget and stick to it. Track your expenses to understand where your money goes. 3. Invest wisely. Instead of spending on liabilities, like a fancy phone, invest in assets that grow over time, such as stocks, real estate, or a business. The emotional side of debt is another area where emotions can dominate. People often feel overwhelmed, ashamed, or stuck when they're in debt. But instead of letting these emotions paralyze you, let your brain take charge. Break down the problem logically. Create a repayment plan. Cut unnecessary expenses. Focus on increasing your income. Long-term wealth building. True wealth isn't about earning more, it's about managing what you have. Use your brain to set long-term financial goals, such as saving for retirement, creating an emergency fund, or building passive income streams. Chapter 4. The trap of instant gratification. In our fast-paced world, instant gratification has become a way of life. Whether it's scrolling through social media, binge-watching TV shows, or ordering fast food, we're constantly surrounded by things that offer immediate pleasure. But is this always a good thing? Let's dig deeper into how the heart can lure us into this trap and why the brain must intervene to save us from its pitfalls. The psychology of instant gratification. Instant gratification stems from the emotional need for immediate rewards. Your heart craves quick satisfaction, while your brain understands that true success often requires patience and effort. This is best explained by the concept of delayed gratification. Psychologists have studied this through experiments like the famous marshmallow test, where children were given a choice: eat 1 marshmallow immediately, or wait a few minutes and get 2 marshmallows. The children who waited grew up to have better life outcomes, proving that discipline and patience are crucial for success. Real-life examples. 1. Fitness goals. Your heart says, skip the gym today, you deserve a rest. Or go ahead, eat that burger, one meal won't hurt. Your brain knows that consistency in exercise and healthy eating will yield long-term results like better health and fitness. 2. Career progress. You may feel tempted to jump into a high-paying job that isn't aligned with your career goals just for the short-term reward of money. But your brain might guide you to invest in learning or building skills that will bring sustainable success. The brain's role in resisting temptation. Your brain works as a long-term planner. It reminds you of your goals and helps you resist short-term temptations that could derail your journey. This is why building habits and routines is so powerful. They shift your focus from immediate rewards to future achievements. Practical strategies to overcome instant gratification. 1. Set clear goals. Write down your long-term goals and keep them visible. Whether it's financial freedom, better health, or a fulfilling career, clarity will keep you focused. 2. Use delays as a strategy. If you're tempted to act impulsively, pause. Take 10 minutes to reflect or even sleep on it. Most emotional temptations fade with time. 3. Reward yourself wisely. Incorporate rewards into your journey, but make them aligned with your goals. For instance, celebrate hitting a fitness milestone with a new workout outfit, not a cheat meal. Chapter 5. Emotional anchors and how they hold you back. Your heart often clings to emotional anchors, past experiences, relationships, or memories that weigh you down. These anchors may feel comforting, but they can prevent you from moving forward and achieving your full potential. Let's explore how to recognize and break free from these emotional traps. What are emotional anchors? Emotional anchors are feelings or beliefs tied to specific events, people, or situations. They might include past failures. You've failed before, so you fear trying again. Toxic relationships. You stay in unhealthy relationships out of loyalty or fear of being alone. Limiting beliefs. You believe you're not good enough or deserving of success. The heart's role. Your heart thrives on familiarity and comfort, even if it's harmful. For example, you might avoid leaving a toxic job or relationship because the thought of change feels scary. Your heart convinces you it's better to stay where it's safe, while your brain knows you need to move on to grow. The brain's role in breaking free. Your brain has the ability to analyze and reassess these emotional anchors. It asks, are these beliefs helping me or holding me back? What is the logical next step to improve my situation? Practical steps to release emotional anchors. 1. Identify the anchor. Reflect on what's holding you back. Is it a fear of failure, guilt, or attachment to the past? 2. Challenge the belief. Use logic to counter emotional arguments. For instance, if you think, I can't succeed, list all the skills and resources you have that prove otherwise. 3. Take small steps. Overcoming emotional anchors doesn't happen overnight. Start small. Apply for that job. End that toxic relationship, or take a risk that feels slightly uncomfortable. 4. Seek support. Surround yourself with people who encourage logical thinking and growth. A mentor, coach, or supportive friend can offer the perspective you need. Chapter 6. The power of logical risk-taking. Risk-taking is an essential part of growth, but not all risks are created equal. When driven by emotions, risks can be reckless and lead to failure. But when calculated and guided by logic, risks can open doors to incredible opportunities. The difference between emotional and logical risks. Emotional risks. These are impulsive, driven by excitement, fear, or desperation. For example, quitting your job without a backup plan because you had a bad day. Logical risks. These are deliberate and well thought out. For instance, starting a side hustle while still working your full-time job, ensuring financial stability. Examples of logical risk-taking. 1. Starting a business. Your heart might say, I'll quit my job and launch my dream business tomorrow. Your brain would suggest researching the market, saving an emergency fund, and creating a step-by-step plan to transition gradually. 2. Investing money. Emotionally, you might feel tempted to invest in a trendy stock or cryptocurrency because of the hype. But logically, you'll analyze the risks, research the market, and diversify your portfolio for long-term gains. Why the brain excels at calculated risks. Your brain evaluates potential outcomes and prepares for worst-case scenarios. It allows you to take risks while minimizing potential losses. Logical risks are grounded in preparation, strategy, and foresight. Steps to master. Logical risk-taking 1. Gather information. Research every aspect of the risk. The more informed you are, the better your decisions. 2. Weigh the pros and cons. What are the potential rewards versus the possible consequences? 3. Plan for failure. Create contingency plans in case things don't go as expected. 4. Start small. Test the waters with a smaller commitment before diving in fully. The role of courage. While logic is essential, courage also plays a key role in risk-taking. Courage isn't about acting on blind emotion. It's about trusting your logical assessment and taking the leap despite uncertainty. Success stories of logical risk-taking. Think about entrepreneurs, investors, or innovators who've succeeded. Their achievements weren't a result of blind faith or reckless actions, but carefully calculated risks guided by logic. By following their example, you too can learn to take smart risks that lead to extraordinary growth. Chapter 7. Trusting the process. Logic's role in patience. In a world where everything seems to move at lightning speed, patience is becoming a lost art. But true success, whether in relationships, career, or personal growth, requires trusting the process. Your brain understands this. It thrives on planning and incremental progress, while your heart often yearns for immediate results. Let's delve into how trusting the process, guided by logic, can transform your life. Why the heart struggles with patience. The heart is impatient by nature. It focuses on the now and demands instant results. This is why many give up on their goals too soon. A fitness enthusiast might stop exercising after a few weeks because they don't see immediate changes. An entrepreneur might abandon a business idea after a few months because profits aren't flowing yet. The heart magnifies doubt and frustration when things don't go as expected. It whispers, "It's not working, just give up." The brain's perspective on patience. The brain, however, understands the principle of compound growth. It knows that small, consistent efforts yield significant results over time. Whether you're investing in the stock market, learning a new skill, or improving your health, the brain reminds you to focus on the journey rather than the immediate outcome. The power of micro-wins. Logical patience thrives on recognizing and celebrating small victories, or micro-wins. For example, losing 1 kilogram after a month of exercise is a micro-win toward a larger fitness goal. Gaining your first 100 subscribers on YouTube is a micro-win toward building a successful channel. These small achievements keep you motivated and reinforce the value of persistence. Practical steps to trust the process and set realistic milestones. Break your goals into smaller, achievable targets. This makes the journey manageable and rewarding. 2. Track your progress. Use journals, apps, or trackers to visualize your growth. Seeing how far you've come encourages you to stay the course. 3. Detach from immediate results. Focus on the actions, not just the outcomes. For example, concentrate on writing consistently rather than obsessing over how many views your content gets initially. 4. Find role models. Study the journeys of successful individuals. You'll notice that all of them trusted the process and embraced patience. The brain versus heart debate on delays. Imagine planting a seed. The heart wants the fruit immediately, while the brain knows that watering, sunlight, and time are essential for growth. By trusting the process, you allow your efforts to mature into something meaningful and lasting. Chapter 8. Detachment. Why your brain knows when to let go. Detachment is often misunderstood. Many think it means giving up, but in reality, detachment is about releasing control over things you can't change and focusing on what you can. This is where the heart and brain often clash. The heart clings tightly to people, outcomes, and emotions, while the brain knows when it's time to let go. Why the heart finds letting go difficult. The heart is sentimental and deeply attached to outcomes. It creates emotional bonds with unrealistic goals. You may keep chasing a goal that no longer aligns with your values because your heart refuses to let it go. Toxic relationships. Staying in harmful relationships, hoping the other person will change, is often a decision driven by the heart. Past mistakes. The heart holds onto guilt or regret, preventing you from moving forward. The heart whispers, if you let go, you'll lose something valuable, even when holding on is causing pain or stagnation. The brain's perspective on detachment. Your brain, however, approaches life with logic and objectivity. It evaluates situations and asks, is this still serving me? What am I gaining versus losing by holding on? Will letting go open new opportunities for growth? By practicing detachment, the brain frees you from unnecessary emotional burdens and allows you to focus on what truly matters. Examples of healthy detachment. 1. Career changes. Your heart might say, don't leave this job. You've invested so much time here. Your brain would evaluate whether the job aligns with your long-term goals and encourage you to explore better opportunities. 2. Relationships. The heart says, stay in this relationship. You've been together for years. The brain analyzes whether the relationship is nurturing your growth or holding you back. 3. Failure. The heart fixates on past failures, replaying them over and over. The brain learns from the experience, extracts valuable lessons, and moves on. The benefits of detachment: emotional freedom. Letting go reduces stress and anxiety caused by clinging to things beyond your control. Clarity and focus. Detachment allows you to prioritize what truly matters, making you more effective and fulfilled. Personal growth. By releasing what doesn't serve you, you create space for new opportunities and experiences. How to practice detachment. 1. Accept what you can't control. Recognize that not everything is within your power. Focus on your actions, not outcomes. 2. Reframe loss. Instead of seeing letting go as a failure, view it as a step toward growth and self-improvement. 3. Meditation and mindfulness. These practices help you observe your thoughts and emotions without becoming attached to them. 4. Focus on the bigger picture. Ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? Often the answer is no. A powerful shift in perspective. Detachment isn't about apathy, it's about freedom. When you let go of what no longer serves you, you empower yourself to chase goals that align with your true purpose. The brain understands this. It's time to let it lead the way. Conclusion: the balance between heart and brain. As we come to the end of this journey through Follow Your Brain, Your Heart is an Idiot, let's take a moment to reflect. Life is not about choosing between the brain and the heart. It's about understanding their roles and allowing them to work together in harmony. Your heart gives you passion and drive, but it is your brain that provides the clarity and direction to channel that passion toward meaningful outcomes. By trusting your brain, you embrace logic, patience, and objectivity, qualities that pave the way for long-term success and happiness. You learn to detach from what doesn't serve you, to trust the process, and to make decisions that align with your true purpose. Let your heart inspire you, but let your brain lead the way. When these two forces work together in balance, there's nothing you can't achieve. Thank you for joining me on this insightful journey. I hope this audiobook has helped you see life's decisions in a new light and has inspired you to lead with clarity and purpose. If you found value in this, don't forget to explore more content on my YouTube channel, Assets Investor, where we dive deep into topics that empower your mind, improve your finances, and motivate you to achieve your dreams. Remember, your brain is your most powerful asset. Trust it, follow it, and watch how your life transforms. Thank you for listening, and until next time, take care, stay inspired, and keep investing in your best asset, yourself.